Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Casey, and today we're going to be talking about Jarrad Davis. Jarrad Davis is the middle linebacker that played at Florida University the past 4 years. He got drafted by the Detroit Lions in the first round with pick 21. And in case you don't know, the Florida Gators had a very talented defense. They had about 7 guys go to the NFL, like 3 people from the secondary, and I'm going to be basically trying to persuade why I think that Jarrad Davis is the best player among those guys and why I think he was definitely one of the best players in the draft. And we're going to look at some of his strengths, some of his weaknesses, and we'll see what he does well and what he doesn't do well. So let's get right into it. The first strength of Jarrad Davis that I'm going to talk about is his ability to play well in pass coverage. You see with the picture that was just displayed that he was one of the best defenders in the nation when guarding the pass. And he's able to guard short passes, long routes, seams, underneath routes, pretty much any type of route he can cover. But with this first play, you see that Jarrad Davis, as soon as the play starts, he's able to read the quarterback's eyes and get over to the hook to curl zone, where he's able to come away with the deflection. The receiver only ran about a 5 to 7 yard route, and Jarrad Davis still displays the speed to get all the way over there and get the deflection. And this sets up a nice 2nd and 10 for the defense. On the second play, they test Jarrad Davis on a deep route on a seam, where he's able to come away with the deflection. The thing I like about this play is that once the ball is snapped, he's able to get over to the slot, and he turns with him and is able to get his outside left hand on the slot receiver's shoulder to feel him out and feel where he's at, and he uses his inside hand to come up with the deflection. And you'll see with this next play that this is a consistent technique that he practices with and is able to perform at a high level with. This play is with the game on the line where he guards the tight end, and he's able to use this same technique with his outside hand filling the receiver out and his inside hand to deflect the pass, and he actually comes up with the deflection that leads to a safety's interception, and this play seals the game. So this says a lot about his coaching because it's consistent technique that he shows on multiple occasions. So I chose this play because it displays Jarrad Davis's nice route recognition and as well as his footwork. The slot receiver runs a simple 5 to 7 yard speed out, but he recognizes that he's running this short route to the outside, and he has help to the outside, as you notice the nickel corner. So that gives him the freedom to be able to jump the route, which he's sets himself up perfectly for because he baits the receiver, and when he almost comes up with interception, but nonetheless it was still a good deflection and shows many of the traits that allow him to be so successful in pass coverage. When looking at some of the best middle linebackers in the NFL, especially some of the upper tier linebackers, you notice that they all have the ability to play sideline to sideline. So Jarrad Davis, he excelled in this. This is why one of the reasons I think he'll be so great in NFL is that a lot of times your D-line isn't good enough to make the stop all the time, or sometimes on the outside runs like that one, your outside linebackers might get to the play first, but they're not able there to make the tackle because they have to take on the lead block. So somebody like Jarrad Davis is able to be fast enough and take good enough pursuit to make the plays outside of the hashes and able to stop them for a minimal gain. So like that play that just happened, there was a bubble screen and he was able to affect the play. As soon as he read the screen, he was able to run all the way to the sideline. He missed the tackle, but he was right there and still to contest the play. And this next play coming up is another play, a very similar play, a little jet bubble screen, and Jarrad Davis is able to get over there and make the play within 3 yards. So the first weakness that I'm going to talk about with Jarrad Davis is that he's susceptible to play action, and you'll see this with these next 2 plays. So Jarrad Davis, you see that he falls for the play action, but meanwhile his assignment, the tight end, just runs a simple delay route and is able to get more than 10 yards for the first down. And this is another play where I think this is one of his worst plays. He just lets the tight end run right past him, which could have been a big gain. But you see that he's echoing the call. I don't know if it's a late call or something, but they're all echoing that. Then the receiver goes in motion and they fake the jet handoff. And then after that, they fake the handoff to the running back. But this whole time, Jarrad Davis's eyes are in the backfield, and he just lets the tight end run right past him. Luckily, the corner was there for the sack because this could have been like an 80-yard touchdown. So Jarrad Davis just needs to focus on reading his keys properly, and hopefully this won't happen. He'll be able to limit this. But this next play, it looks like he's on the right track. He goes with the jet, but then he kind of thinks too far ahead, and he goes with the fake pitch, and he's the only one on the whole team going to that side. Another special thing about Jarrad Davis is that he has a good feeling for when to rush the quarterback. So most of the time I've noticed that his defensive assignment is to either play in the middle of the field just as a zone, or he'll either play a quarterback spy. So with this play, you see that Jarrad Davis times his blitz perfectly, and he's able to squeeze through the line. And as soon as the running back tries to chip him just a little bit, he doesn't stand a chance, and Jarrad Davis just blows his ass out the way and is able to apply pressure on the quarterback where he just throws a bullshit pass that doesn't end up getting completed anyway. But with most of these plays, you'll notice that Jarrad Davis is just able to get to the quarterback so fast and able to just allow him to hurry the pass. And most of the time, he's either hurried into a throw out of bounds or just, like I said, a bullshit pass that just usually isn't completed. He just wants to get the ball out of his hands. So with this play, you see that Jarrad Davis, he sees a quarterback start to scramble, and Jarrad Davis just immediately attacks and is able to get help by his defensive line to come down with the sack. He didn't make the sack, and this won't get on the stat sheet, but this is a play that he makes and that he's fully responsible for. A thing that he does that allows him to be so successful when applying pressure to the quarterback is that he doesn't over pursue. You see there, he's right on the quarterback's inside hip. As soon as the play starts, you see that he patrols, he does his job, but as soon as he sees Jay Coker leave the pocket, he's right after him and is able to get there so fast that he just chases inside shoulder and is able to come down with the almost sack. He's lucky he threw it away, but he was there on time. Another great thing that helps having a guy like Jarrad Davis in the middle of your defense is that, like I was just saying before, when maybe not all the time the defensive linemen can get sacks, but they can occupy the offensive line. They can kind of force the quarterback out of the pocket, force him to scramble a little bit. You have a guy like Jarrad Davis with great closing speed that's able to get to the quarterback before he's able to gain positive yards scrambling. And with Aaron Rodgers and Teddy Bridgewater or Mitch Trubisky, these are all talented quarterbacks who can scramble and are pretty fast. You know you have a guy in the middle of your defense that's able to match their speed and has good angles and has nice pursuit that's able to kind of counteract what their strengths are. The combination of the wide edge rush and Caleb Brantley beating his guard so easily forces Chad Kelly to climb the pocket, and Jarrad Davis is right there waiting for him at the line of scrimmage to come down with the sack. A weakness of Jarrad Davis that I notice is that he's inconsistent when it comes to his block shedding. A lot of times when offensive linemen are able to get into his chest and get good positioning, they're able to just kind of bench press him out of the way. And because they have such long arms at 34, at least 35 inches or sometimes even longer than that, and Jarrad Davis's are only 33 and a half inches. So you see right there, the right guard is able to get into his chest, and he just bench presses Jarrad Davis back a couple yards. He eventually sheds his block and is able to help get in on a tackle, but as far as his effect on the play, there's not much that he did. And on this play against Cam Robinson, his arms are about 35 inches, and you see that he's able to just move Jarrad Davis out of the way. He barely gets any of them, but he gets just enough that he's a non-factor for the play. And then this other play, this lineman's able to reach out and kind of just box Jarrad Davis out of the play, and Jarrad Davis is all the way in the backfield. So I decided to include this play because this play shows what Jarrad Davis brings to the table on an every play basis. You see that he's way quicker than all the guys trying to block him. This offensive guard tries to double team the lineman just for a split second and then peel off and block Jarrad Davis. But Jarrad Davis flies through the hole before he even gets his head up. And this just speaks to such athleticism that he has. So I said that Jarrad Davis was inconsistent with his block shedding. And the reason why I say that is because the last plays that we looked at, he was easily blocked. And when linemen got into his chest, they were able to pretty much do whatever they wanted with him. But the reason why I say he's inconsistent is because when we look at these groups of plays, he literally plays these plays perfectly. Like, his technique is perfect. Everything about it is perfect. He just runs over to the play and is able to shed the block or altogether just elude the block. Or even sometimes he'll just keep his outside arm and leg free, take on the block, and able to still shed it and make the tackle all in one. It's really great technique that he uses, and I'm not sure why exactly he's so inconsistent with it, but if he's able to maintain this, then he'll have a very long career in the NFL. Like, that play is a beautiful play that he does. He bench presses the lineman right into the running back. Like you see, as soon as the play starts, he sees that it's a run, and he steps up. The lineman tries to reach over and seal him, but he doesn't let that happen. He just treats his lineman. This lineman is probably about 6'4", 300 pounds, and Jarrad Davis is able to just use one arm and just run him back into the running back and disrupt the whole entire play. And a lot of times you see that he does this, and these are all different plays. I promise you, it looks like the same play because he's so damn consistent with these groups of plays that I don't know why he can't just do this all the time. As far as a player in this draft, specifically a linebacker that's just so technically sound, I believe he's head and shoulders above every single player. And I don't know if it's just because he has a relentless mentality, but some of these plays he just runs like a loose cannon, is just able to just run through everyone and damn near make every play. I mean, there's many games where I watched and this guy literally makes every play on defense. And this is why I think he'll be so valuable for the Detroit Lions and why I think they made absolute great pick in picking him. If he's fortunate enough to start all 16 games, there's no reason why he shouldn't have triple digit tackles. And these last couple of plays, these aren't anything that I'm going to break down. These are just for your entertainment. This is part of the reason why I fell in love with the game that he plays. So seeing him do this every game is just great to watch. You see how aggressive he is and how mean he is. When you have a middle linebacker and you pick him 21st overall, you want a guy that's going to change the culture. You want a guy that's going to knock some people out and hit people hard. And that's exactly what you get with Jarrad Davis. So I'll just let these clips roll. And you tell me in the comments what you think of this. I mean, this is a play where a guy gets like a 20-yard gain and nobody can tackle him. And Jarrad Davis comes over and just picks him up and suplexes the shit out of him and slams him on his head. And then Derrick Henry, this guy is about 6'2", 240. And look at Jarrad Davis. Just takes him and just slams him on his head. So this is what he has to offer. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you think he's going to be a good linebacker. Let me know if you agree. And thank you for watching.